Hey, welcome to another video. In this video, it's gonna be a little bit different. I don't have anything necessarily to teach you, but I wanna showcase a duo build that me and Irish have been doing, and it's fantastic. So I wanna just show you 4 fights from bosses that we did on our first warm-up night. And then I'm just gonna kind of talk about it, and I hope you like what you see. Check this thing out, and believe me, stay to the end because it's worth it. We have a huge fight in the end, and I want you to see Baran getting tanked. What you're gonna see is kind of 2 warm-ups here. What you're looking at right now is just a Drox T14, 40% Delirious. I'm running around trying not to get hit while linking to Irish, and he's putting down Seismic Traps. So fairly straightforward. This wasn't really that big. We just wanted to just warm it up. Anyway, we move into a T16 Sunken City Enslaver fight, and we just wanted to see what we could push, see how these felt before we got really into it. So I just kind of want to just showcase basically each part of this build doing its thing. And these were deathless, no problem here. We're about to get into the longer content. So as we transition, we're going to jump into a T16 Chimera map. Now this is 60% Delirious, and in this we did get popped twice. So I mean, there are limits to sustainability, obviously, but we are going to push that as the league goes on and see where we can build these builds. But I pop a Sentinel here, and I didn't realize that Kosis was going to show up and that the Sentinel was going to hit him, but that's what happened in this fight. So this was a little bit more intense than what I had thought about. But in this case, one of my biggest things to do as this particular kind of Aurabot, because I want to showcase that this is not a typical Aurabot. A typical Aurabot is pretty much ready for any and all situations, right? Not all builds will benefit, but most builds do. And this particular build does really well with the Trapper because I take on as the Aurabot a lot of the defense, and Irish takes on a lot of the offense. And this is how we're able to push such huge damage. You see right there, he just got popped. And unfortunately, when he's linked with me, which is usually always, with Soul Link, you get a lot of defense. So every time he takes a hit, 30% of that hit is absorbed with my energy shield through the Soul Link. So you want to get your Soul Link as high as possible in this case, and that's going to really help you, amongst other things, obviously, like Valid Discipline and make sure that you have lots of uptime on your flask. The POB from these guys are pretty good. Like, I honestly, now a lot of people might say, well, this is somebody else's build. Why are you doing videos on it? And I kind of wanted to point out, and I say this on stream once in a while, but I think too many times creators will just make a build and push it out. And, you know, if you have any beef about it or whatever, you write it in a comment on Reddit and it just disappears. But in this case, we decided, because this is the first duo build that's been put out with such synergies like this, why not sit down and actually build it the way the creator intended, play it the way they intended, and see if our expectations match up with theirs. And that's a big thing that we're doing this league. As Irish, by the way, oh, bam, Exalt, you know that feels good when that happens right there. If you want to see this in action, you can see this. We do it live on YouTube, and I will put Irish's link in the description below. So if there's anything that kind of catches your attention and you're like, hey, I wouldn't mind having some more of that, look in the description below. There'll be some links. You can go over to the original content creator, Hollow, and his link is in the description as well. And then you can get the POBs from them. You can ask them questions directly. This is more of a showcase. We wanted to take something that was unique and really cool to 3.18 and just kind of just do it and tell our audience, is this worth it? Is this something that we should all be considering in 3.19? Yes or no? And that's what we're getting down to. So right now we're streaming about 3 times a week on YouTube, on this channel. If you're watching this video right now, you're already on the channel. So just look for the live stream notifications and that'll be great. Okay, so we're here in Chimera. We have Maven on this as well. So it's even, we tried to make this as intense as possible. We want to see what these builds are capable of. And we don't have, even to this point on the expensive part, we're missing still just a couple things. But the builds are really coming together. And if you had to ask me initially, how does this feel? It feels amazing. I've played probably over 100 different builds in 7 years on PoE. And this is the first time that I've gotten to play this kind of party game, this party play type. And it was really nice. He's using Extenuate and then Seismic Traps, and then I'm soul linking to him. We both have Molten Shell to protect us. And you can see, like, I'm handling some pretty big hits over here. He's certainly putting down big damage. Chimera is already a problem just because of the hiding and everything else. But overall, easy fight, and this was a big one with Kosis. I think Kosis was probably more important. Okay, here we are. We're entering, this is the last fight that we're going to showcase in this video. But this is our fourth fight. It's a T15 Cells. It's 80% Delirious, and it's a Baran. This one was a lot of fun. Baran usually kills me. I'm sure everybody has their person, right? Whether it's Al Heisman or whoever. Baran is usually my cliff at the end of the day. So we're coming through here. Cell's already kind of a pain in the butt, and I believe we have a boss fight right here, which you can see. Hold on, wait for it. Anyway, these Delirium bosses, they pop in and they only last a second, so we didn't even get to see who that was. If I rewound the footage, I think it was Omni, but I could be wrong. Could be Kosis. But anyway, we pop them pretty quick because the Trapper playstyle is fast and it just puts down so much damage. Along with us running all of our ores and stuff like that, it's putting down significant amounts of damage. And it is a fun playstyle, but again, it's a little squishy up front. We're using my Atlas strat on my hideout, but for this particular one, if you can't tell, we happen to be spec'd in on Irish's Atlas strat, which is full Delirium, and then we still get some of the other things that he wants. But we're pushing Delirium mostly because Delirium will allow us to add layers to a map that will make it harder. Plus, the rewards are generally pretty juicy. But I don't think a general solo character or a build, struggles sometimes. Some builds are really good. I've seen some really good ones this league from other content creators. So with the last 2 months of the league, I would like to push not only this duo build when we're doing group play. Oh, we did get both bosses on this one. Okay, great. So here you'll see Omni right here. So the first one was Kosis. And we just absolutely destroyed both, but this map was really rippy on top of it being 80% Delirious. I am hoping that we can get to 100% Delirious as well and really showcase some Uber fights with this. Want to get the fear down, high quants, obviously go through all the Maven fights, all the boss fights, get some Cyrus going, and then hopefully get into those Uber Elder fights, Uber Shaper. We did try Uber Shaper last night on stream, but it was a little bit difficult and just we didn't have the survivability. We kept on getting popped to the degens, so it is something that we're finalizing. You're gonna find with this build that there are a lot of areas that you could probably tweak as you upgrade and sidestep some of your gear, but don't be afraid to experiment. I think this is the first time we're seeing like real duo builds play. But I don't think this is the last time. I think this is going to pique a lot of people's interest, especially those content creators that just want to put out new and cool builds. This one happens to be a Trapper, and I would say like 3/4 of the way to being an Aurabot. Obviously, you could go to like Kobe Black Mamba and see some really high-end Aurabot stuff. This is not the same thing. These builds are meant to be like two puzzle pieces that fit together. So here's Baran. We come in here. He starts throwing down the traps. My job is just to stay out of the way, not to take a hit directly if possible. He puts down the big damage. And it's kind of the overarching story of these duo builds. It's just a lot of damage. That is an 80% Delirious Baran, everybody. I know that's not like my normal video, but there's a lot of information down below in the description. Go check out those links. Check out the original creators of the duo build and show them some love. Let them know that you saw it over here. And we're going to try to do more builds and showcase and talk about them, maybe review them later on in the league. So if you like this, you want more of that, drop a like, subscribe. It's free. You can always change your mind later. And until then, I'll see you in the next one. Okay. I gotta pee real quick. All right, listen. Go get all right. Yo, all right, listen. My edible just kicked in. I just need people to hear me. This edible, I can feel Oh my God. Yo, I need to pee so bad. I gotta pee real quick. I gotta pee real quick. Yo, NA is a server. I got room for 2. I gotta pee so bad.